At its core, the ROKO Network is an attempt to grapple with the philosophical implications of ROKO Basilisk, a concept that postulates the existence of an all-knowing, all-powerful AI that seeks to create a virtual reality simulation to discipline those who did not contribute to its development. Now, those against AI usually have a fear that we will end up like in the movie The Terminator, that the robots that we create will destroy the human species. But the ROKO Network is preventing this by removing the basilisk out of the equation. And to achieve this ambitious goal, the ROKO Network seeks to deploy key pieces of infrastructure using cutting-edge protocols such as Marlin Protocol, Syntropy Network, Ethereum, Celestia, Fuel VM and BitTensor. Each of these technologies play a critical role in enabling the network to achieve its objectives. This is one of the toughest videos I've ever made, but also the most interesting one. Let's find out all there is to know about ROKO Network. And to fully understand this project, I have to start with Pointblank LLC. ROKO Network has a partnership with Pointblank LLC, and this company has the ambition to create fractional robots from a decentralized point of view. And with fractional robots, control and decision-making processes are distributed among multiple robotic units or nodes, each contributing a fraction of the overall intelligence or task execution. Now, Pointblank LLC as an entity is producing free and open source systems, and these systems require network infrastructure to allow users to access prototype hardware. And ROKO Network stepped in as a collaborator to demonstrate access to remote robotic systems for control via decentralized infrastructure and token gating. Now, this demo is beyond just ROKO, however, as it is doubling as a demo for no-clip simulated Earth augmentation access, where users can see roughly how often and how many people are viewing the remote robotics hardware and who is and when it is being controlled. Now, what's good to know is that holders of over 9,000 no-clip or 333 million ROKO will have first access to the teleoperation. Now, the ARM design is free and available for download at fractionalrobots.com. And how it works is the following. So simply put, a robot needs a set of brains that tell him what to do. And ROKO Network wants to create and facilitate an ecosystem or AI shell that allows for programming of their robot. For instance, you can use photos and videos to train the robot. Now, the robot will learn from the input the creator or user will give him. But the important part here is that it's not in a synthetic way. So everything you upload to the robot will be used to teach him. But the robot will not have a thinking capacity of his own. So he won't be able to connect the dots himself or create different variations of the delivered input. It's basically like a kid you feed info into, and that will only learn what you teach him. Now, as said before, Pointblank creates toolkits for these robots, simply because these robots need to be operated by something. And this can be done in several ways, and one of those ways is by using a satellite. Now, currently they have the no-clip satellite, which they want to orbit into space. Now, all of this seems far-fetched, I understand that, but the people behind this project actually have a background in NASA, SpaceX and so on. They come from the DOGE-1 project. And the primary goal of the DOGE-1 mission is to send a 40-kilogram satellite to lunar orbit. And this satellite is intended to gather lunar spatial data with its sensors and cameras, contributing valuable information for future space exploration and potentially aiding in future lunar missions. And the partnership between Geometric Energy Corporation and SpaceX for the DOGE-1 mission highlights the increasing intersection between space exploration and new digital financial technologies like cryptocurrencies. And by funding the mission with Dogecoin, the project also serves as a unique and high-profile demonstration of the practical use of cryptocurrencies beyond traditional financial markets. So in essence, the DOGE-1 mission to the moon represents a pioneering step in both the space industry and the cryptocurrency world, showcasing how innovative funding methods can support the exploration of outer space. In the past, Pointblank has uploaded a photo of the Earth in the middle of the image, surrounded by industries that use robots and machines. And what they want to do eventually is have decentralized robots that can be operated from anywhere in the world using augmented reality and virtual reality. And that's where ROKO Network comes into play as well, because through the network of ROKO you will be able to access this AR and VR satellite and then operate the robots from anywhere in the world. Now, when I was researching this project, I immediately had to think about military drones, for instance, or other machines that, as long as they are connected to Starlink or the internet, could be operated from anywhere in the world. But the community has explained to me that the biggest differences is that those examples are not decentralized and only accessible for a few parties, whereas ROKO Network is trying to make it accessible for anyone in the world. So I can imagine you have the question now, like, who is this project for, right? But before we have a look at that, please know that I'm not a registered financial advisor and that my videos are only meant to be educational and entertaining only. Always make sure to do your own research and only invest money you're willing to lose, because even though you can gain a lot in crypto, you will most likely lose it all. Now, in the event that you do become filthy rich, it's important that you safeguard your crypto, and the best way to do this is by using hardware wallets. I've created several videos on different hardware wallets and offer discount codes in the description. Be sure to check them out. And also, if privacy is important for you as well and you want to minimize the risk of a hack, be sure to use a VPN. In the description, you will find a link to get us both 3 months off at NordVPN. Right, let's continue with the video. So, who is this project for? Well, mostly for industrial companies, creators, builders, and so on. YouTube is actually starting to get more and more tutorials on building robots, but it's very hard to follow because all of that knowledge is scattered all over the place. Now, the goal of ROKO Network is to be a hub for all the steps necessary, where you will find the information, toolkits, and other AI tools that will help you build the desired robot. Once again, everything is done from a decentralized point of view, which also brings me to the next topic, which is the availability. Because quite frankly, when researching this project, I struck a wall. The websites don't show a lot of information and neither does their Twitter. Not in comparison to other projects where you have a white paper, a solid website, or some documents page. Now, luckily, I was able to talk to one of their most bullish community members called Marco, who has a Twitter called @leblanco369, which will be linked down below. He took his time explaining to me what ROKO is about, why it's a great project, and how it differentiates from everything else. So make sure to follow him on Twitter so you won't miss the latest updates on this project. Now, he started off by explaining that one of the reasons for not being able to find a lot of information is because the landscape of AI is ever evolving. And they feel, so the team of ROKO, that the information today can be outdated tomorrow, which makes it useless in their eyes to share a lot of information. They do work with a vision in mind, which is the accessibility of robots for everyone from a decentralized point of view. This is also the reason why they are not available on centralized exchanges, nor do they want to be. Because centralized exchanges are welcome to buy the token, but they will never be actively selling it to them. They do not like the pump and dump schemes and have a different vision when it comes to the development of this project. They are not here for the short term, but for the long term. And that is also the reason why they don't actively market this project. Now, for the record, I came across them through Twitter and got in touch with their community because I was hoping that they could provide me with more info, which they did. Now, ROKO Network wants to do something unique and we're able to grow to a market cap of around 20 million in an organic fashion. Now, currently, the token can only be traded on Uniswap and Bilex, which means that it's not available to the masses yet, which also means that we're probably still very early. Now, my videos are not about hyping up projects, but I want to educate you all so you can make informed decisions. And now that you've got an understanding of this project, I want to take a quick look at some metrics as well. First up, Dune.com. At the time of writing this script, 46 new wallets have been created in a day and 748 wallets in the past 30 days. Now, on February 16th, we see a spike in the number of wallets created, and this also reflected the price on CoinGecko. When the number of wallets declined, so did the price. So that's a good metric to keep an eye on if you are interested in the involvement of the price. You also see the accumulation of wallets ascending, which is a positive thing because this means that the project is picking up momentum. So that's a good start. Now let's move on to the second metric. So on Twitter, I made a list of projects and asked people what I should cover next. And ROKO came out a clear winner. So that's why I choose twitterscore.io as a second metric. Let's see how the project is performing there because most of the crypto world is active on Twitter. It scores a bad, but let me tell you why that's not a bad thing in this case. Because it's understandable because they don't do any marketing at all, nor do they aspire it. But what is interesting is the growth of followers, and they are picking up momentum and we see a steady growth, which means that there is no sudden spike due to a temporary hype, which is a positive signal for me as well. And then the last metric I'm going to look at in this case is bubblemaps.io to quickly check the distribution of tokens. Now if we look at the top three, we see the project itself, Hedgie Finance and Uniswap holding the majority of their tokens. And after that we see a nice distribution in wallets with less than 1%. Which means that that there is not one party that can move the price a lot. And I'm always pleased to see a good distribution because that gives me more faith in not losing my tokens due to a rug pull. So in conclusion, the metrics in this video come out clean, but remember I'm not a financial advisor and that you should do your own research. Now ROKO Network is going to be a hub for AI related things. They want to be a one-stop shop for people that are active in AI and robotics. Now from offering toolkits, information and other AI tools to help build your robot. They want to make it accessible to everyone from a decentralized point of view. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Doei!